in.
All right, you guys. Well, welcome to our take 5 of our continuing education class, class number 1. It is Tuesday night. We do these classes every single Tuesday night, and we have 8 different classes that we rotate back and forth. And so here's a list of them. I can't remember if I started the recording or not. Guess I can find out. Okay, we're recording. All right.
Many people don't realize
Oh
that
my gosh.
frankincense was the first.
I can't stand it. I might just quit. Seriously. Okay. I can edit this video, I think. So you guys, are you curious about doTERRA? This is the 101 class. So this is back to basics. This is learning how and why we use essential oils. This is where do they come from and the safety behind them. There is 2 different approaches. There's the approach that we're used to, and that is where we go to the doctor, we get a prescription, they tell us, we use it, we come home, we have, maybe we have a side effect, or we have something that goes on, and then from that one, we get something else, and it's just like this revolving door, and we really never get to the root cause. We're just looking at the symptoms and we're treating the symptoms, and yet we're not getting to the bottom of things. So there is over $6.5 trillion that is spent every year in global healthcare. And so I love what doTERRA has done. And our main focus when we are working with people is to get to the root cause. And we want to be able to come to these get the natural solutions, and we can have things that, so maybe we have something that's just on the surface, and we start to, have a itch in our throat or something, but there may be something that's way deeper. So we can have something that we can use that can just kind of stop it or calm it a little bit. But our goal here today is to help you guys find the natural solutions to get and address whatever's going on at a root cause. Now, there's been lots and lots of different studies, and there have been studies found. You can go to PubMed.gov, and there are lots of trials, clinical tests, trials, everything that you can find. You can just put doTERRA in there, and you have access to that. What I love also is doTERRA is a company that doesn't just test their own products. They don't just test their own oils and different things. They go to other third-party places to make sure that people are getting the truth, and they're getting the scientific proof that our oils are way more than just what you might find at a grocery store or something else. Now, doTERRA is different. Most of you guys will notice that on every single bottle, it has CPTG. That stands for Certified Pure Tested Grade Essential Oils. That means that nothing is added to it, nothing is taken out of it, and there is nothing that is making it go further. I love that we go to the natural origin to get our essential oils. We make sure that not only the plant and the oil is tested for purity and no contaminants, but they actually test the soil too, which is really important to me, because what we know, what's in the soil is the nutrients, and what goes into the plant is then what we're getting in a product. And so I love that doTERRA goes the extra mile and really goes to extra levels to make sure that they are getting that pure, tested, grade essential oil. Now, there is nothing else on the market, like I said. So if you go to a grocery store and it says 100% pure essential oil, it only has to have 6% oil in the bottle to still be able to say 100% pure. They don't have to tell you that the other percentage of the entire bottle could be anything that they want. And before doTERRA, there was nothing that was really regulating it or making sure that those things were something that we were aware of. Now, I also love that knowing that they're going to different sources in the world. It helps with co-impact sourcing. It helps with every single time you crack the oil bottle open, it has something that it's helping people from around the world. So from farmers that have been in the business for hundreds of years, or new people who are able to start their own little farm with maybe 10 or 12 trees. That's one thing that doTERRA makes sure that everybody has the opportunity to provide our essential oils. Now, there are 3 ways to use doTERRA, and I want to remind you guys that when we're talking in classes, especially like this one, we are talking about doTERRA only. We know all of the things that we just kind of discussed that makes sure that every time you crack that bottle open, it is safe to take and use aromatically, topically, or internally. Now, aromatic is one of my favorite ways to use it because I can put essential oils in a diffuser and it helps to affect the entire area. So if I'm in a work environment where people are coughing and sniffling and things, chances are that they don't want me to go around and share all of my oils. If you guys wouldn't mind, go ahead and mute yourself. So when I'm diffusing, everybody is getting the benefit of the essential oil. I can take a classroom of people and I can help them to concentrate and focus on the topic by the essential oils that we use. We can also, like I said, use it in a work environment, a school, to be able to take the mood, to calm it down, or to help with boosting people's immunity, because as it's diffusing, everybody's getting the benefit. Now, aromatically, you can also just drop it into the palms of your hands, rub your hands together. And it's one of my favorite ways to use essential oils, especially when I have like something going on with my mood. Like if I'm a little cranky or if I'm a little sad, I can take an oil like cheer or passion, and I can just drop it in my hands, take a couple of deep breaths, and I'm getting that directly into my nose, which is going into my brain, telling my body how to respond. And it happens within seconds. And so I love being able to do that. Also, putting them on jewelry or putting them on different fabrics and wearing them. Then I've got it where I need it, when I need it, and I can really get the benefit. Now, using them topically, I love this also because sometimes I might have something going on in my body where if my knee is inflamed, or maybe I've stubbed my toe, or maybe I've got something on my toe that is causing extra pain around my toenails, then I can take that essential oil and I can put it directly where I need it, and I'm going to instantly get the benefits. I don't have to wait for, a pill to dissolve, or hoping, fingers crossed, that it actually gets to where it's supposed to go. I can go directly where it is. If my stomach is upset, you guys, I have options. I can take it internally, or I can also just drop the essential oil on my belly or even in my belly button. I love this. You can add essential oils to a unscented lotion, or I love using our fractionated coconut oil because that fat has been taken out of it and there's no scent, and it's also lightweight and will not clog your pores. So if you have an essential oil that you want it to be if you have an essential oil that might be a little warm, or you want it to go further, this is when I'm 100% always going to use a carrier. Now, there are other carrier oils. We always just recommend that people try to find something that has nothing added to it, that is the same quality of doTERRA. When I first started with doTERRA, I went to the health food store and I'm thinking, gosh, I'm going to go find a carrier oil that isn't as the same price as doTERRA's. And what I discovered is when I turned the bottle around, hardly any of the labels were just that one single item. It reminds me of going and buying like a fruit juice at the grocery store. It's like none of them are what's on the label. You turn it over and there's like 15 different things in there. Okay, then the last way to use the essential oils is internally. This is actually one of my favorite things. It's not only recommended, but it's tested true. And I love it that I can take them and I can put them directly underneath my tongue. And that way it's getting into my bloodstream instantly. I can also, there's many times when I'll put like a drop of frankincense on the roof of my mouth, and I'll put it at the top of my mouth so that I can have that brain clarity and I can really be able to absorb things differently. I love being able to use them internally also for cooking. our essential oils are 50 to 70 times more potent than the herb or the citrus itself. So today I was cooking some roasted chicken for my dog, and I love being able to use a little bit of the oregano or rosemary instead of having to go to the store. And, if I get fresh herbs, it's really great this time of year. But by the time I use the whole thing, most of them have gone bad, or, I've got all these stems and things. And when I use them internally to cook with, I'm getting a much better flavor. And plus, there's all kinds of benefits that can help me when I'm using essential oils. You can also put them in a veggie cap. So if you don't like the taste, or there's some hot ones, or sometimes people will take an immune blend and they'll put it in there, and you can take that gel cap. And if I use a gel cap, you guys, if the oil's hot, then what I'll do is I'll either take like the IQ Mega, or I'll also take fractionated coconut oil or an olive oil, and I'll fill that capsule the rest of the way up. That way it's easier on my stomach, and it's really something that I can use. If you guys wouldn't mind muting yourself since you guys are joining, that would be awesome. Okay, so there are 3 questions that people ask me all the time. And so the first question is, are they safe? I absolutely love knowing that every bottle has CPTG on the label, like we discussed already. And I know that they are certified, pure, tested essential oils. They are 100%. If it comes back from being tested and it's 96%, they reject it for us, and they might sell it to a perfumer or somebody else, but they will not use it. I also love that on the bottles, you can look at this sample in the picture, and it shows there are some of them that are recommended to take internally. If you're wondering about this, simply roll the bottle to the side and it'll give you the supplement facts right there. So you don't have to worry at all. And one thing I love about them too is one of the reasons that I love to talk about oils for pain and inflammation is because of the addiction that is caused by so many of the prescribed medications that is just rampant right now. I have a son who went in for a root canal and came out, I'm just going to say, an addict. And, no fault to him, is that, they are really easy at giving those things out. So if we can take and use things that are safe and natural instead, then think of how many people can have a better experience and not have to worry about those addictions from some of those over-the-counter prescriptions. There is no risk to them. They are something that can be ingested, and they're all plant-based. And so one of the things is people will say, gosh, where do they even come from? And it's like, really, all of our citrus oils come from the Rhine. And so it's just like taking, and zesting a lemon or orange or something and getting that really great citrusy benefit. And that's something that we can take. Now, in the picture on the right, there is a mom who had 3 little girls. I actually got to go and see her present over in Utah. And I loved her story because it just talks, and it just reminds us of when we're talking about essential oils, there are so many that are so different. This mom had taken her girls to visit their grandma, and they didn't take all of their oils with them. And when they were there, she wanted to use lavender on them to put them to bed at night. So she went to her mom's cupboard and she just grabbed an oil and she got it out and she just rubbed it on their chest. And you can see in these pictures that it gave them a physical burn on their chest from using this essential oil that was just a store grade, is what I'm going to call it. Now, it is different. And a lot of times, sometimes I'll be kind of funny and I'll say, it's like going and buying a candle and using a lavender candle to soothe the burn. And that's just not true. That's something that I would never do. And I would never recommend doing something like that. So it is really important, you guys, that you understand that what's in the bottle is 100% pure, and it is different, especially when we're, dealing with babies or pets and different things. So they are safe. The next question is, are they effective? So I loved learning this from the very beginning because our household was one who had chronic sinus infections, and we had all kinds of different things all the time. And we would do what every good mom does. And I would drag my kids and my husband to the hospital or the doctor to get prescriptions. And we did a series of these. And my youngest son actually lost 70% of his hearing from using an over-the-counter antibiotic for an ear infection and a chronic sinus infection. My husband, who also had chronic sinus infections, because he'd had so many different medications, it's gotten to the point where when he would go to the doctor and he'd get these sinus infections, it would wind him up in the hospital because of the damage to his kidney and his liver. Well, I want to just show you really quick in this picture. I love it because it shows a picture of a cell. Now, the cell has a protective outer membrane that protects bad things and things that are synthetic and chemicals and stuff from getting inside the cell. So when you go to the doctor and he says, hey, you've got a bacteria, most likely they're going to say, you know, we're going to go ahead and there's nothing that we can really do, or we can give you an antibiotic. But what happens with that, you guys, is that it causes all kinds of side effects and there's harm that happens. Now, if they tell you that you have a virus, more than likely it's like, go home and, you know, get some rest and drink some chicken soup and, you know, take a hot soak. But what's really great with essential oils is the essential oil is natural, and our bodies see it as something natural, so it can penetrate through the cell membrane and go in and stop the production of the virus. So a virus just sits, as it starts out little, and then pretty soon it duplicates and duplicates and duplicates. And what the essential oil does is it stops that duplication. And so just like when I'm using essential oils for, or when I used to use antibiotics and they would say, you know, continue to use it till it's all gone, I'm going to also say the same thing is true with essential oils. When you're using them for a virus, then you want to make sure that you continue to use them at the same rate until for at least 5 or 6 days after you're feeling completely better. Now, I've put on the bottom of the screen 3 of the really good ones that I love to talk about, because oregano is that natural antibiotic. It is also one that's known as something hot. So as you are learning about essential oils, you'll see that some are labeled hot, some you can do neat, some of them, you know, there are a few cautions. So you'll want to make sure that you use a carrier oil, and you can dilute oregano, say 1 drop of oregano to maybe 10 drops of a carrier oil. Now, when I first used essential oils and I heard that it was super hot, it could burn your skin, I thought, okay, I'm not going to use it. Like, I don't want to take any risks. And you guys, unfortunately, that oregano sat in the corner of my oils for like a year before I learned how to use it correctly. And now we use it for everything from, you know, wart removal to pain. We use it also for, you know, if we're not feeling good, if there's some kind of weird virus going around that people are having, we use this on a regular basis. Now, frankincense is the king of oils. When in doubt, get the frankincense out. I put that little crown on there because anytime you have anything, you know that you can always go and get a drop of it. We want to also teach you guys to use less essential oil more often is going to give you a much better result. And then, of course, cinnamon bark. These guys, you guys, these are essential oils that carry so many different benefits, from being antiviral to being antispasmodic. And there's so much to learn about this. So I hope that this is just the beginning of you learning the benefits and how to use your essential oils. Okay, so then the third question is, are they affordable? Like I hear all the time people say, I know, but I have a 0 copay, and you know, I get my prescriptions for free and I get all these different things. Or what's the real cost? So when you go to the doctor's office, I mean, you're not only, you know, taking time off from work, you're having to travel to go to the doctor's office. You have to then wait for a prescription or something. While you're at the doctor's office, you're getting exposed to whatever else is in that area. So really, what is that free prescription, or what is that free copay? So when people say it's free, I'm like, no, there's a cost. And I can tell you that we've got many people that are on here tonight that can share exactly how much it has saved them. When you look at the initial investment, you guys, to buy your essential oils, it might cost you $20 or $30 per bottle, or, you know, if you get one of our starter kits, it might be 150 or something. But when you look at each one of them, there's 250 drops per each one of the 15 ml bottles. And when you break that down into a dose, is actually 1 or 2 drops at the most. And when you have like a baby or a little child, I'll teach people, you don't even use a drop, you just touch the top of the bottle and you've got enough to be able to help to support them. And really, this stuff is getting into that root. It's going deeper into our body, and our body sees it as something that's natural. So it really accepts it and helps it to then take care of itself. Okay, so now we have some powerhouse oils. Now, one of the things that I love most about the essential oils when I got started was they had a kit that was called the Natural Solutions Kit. Now, this came with everything that you need to get rid of the stuff in your medicine cabinet. And I took that challenge serious. Like, I thought, gosh, if it will help me with this, what else will it help me with? I had debilitating allergies that put me into bed for probably close to half of the month. And not to mention, you know, big old swollen shut eyes and all the other side effects that come with it. And I was able to replace all of the over-the-counter things that I had tried, the eye drops that were prescribed to me, the shots that I was taking from the doctor, and I was able to get rid of all of that stuff with lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And so, of course, I was like, okay, it helped me with that. So what else can I do? And because I had been around herbs and things growing up, I naturally knew that this stuff was plant medicine. And so, as you guys can see, you might want to take a screenshot of this. Each one of these has a huge benefit, and I could go on for hours on each one of them and how they help us. And I'm hoping at the end, when we have some testimonials, that we'll get somebody who can help us, you know, share one of these and why they love it so much. Okay, then the next set of them are for mind and mood. You guys, I know that we live in a time when people are struggling. Like, life is handing us all kinds of things. Not only are the expenses of life happening and everything is accelerating, but we've got, you know, our kids and our schools and the government and all the things. And I could, you know, it's like, I'm sure you can relate to me when I'm going, oh my gosh, there's a lot. And so I love that, once again, being able to take an essential oil like Balance or Serenity, or them together, dropping them in the palm of my hands, being able to breathe it in. And you guys, it doesn't change that those things are happening, but what it does is it helps my body respond differently, and I'm much more calm. And I can, when I'm calm, and like, I love putting breathe with them, because when I'm taking that big, deep breath and I'm calming my mind and I'm calming my emotions, I show up differently. Like, I get to handle and go through life differently because I know which oils to use from getting educated. Now, for my family, the pain and the inflammation and digestion is 100% key. I have 3 boys, I have my husband, and every single one of them have Deep Blue, Copaiba, all of these things that they use, whether it's going to the gym or working in the shop, or before my husband even gets out of bed, he's putting some of these things on his body to help him to be able to function at a higher level. We're also putting them on us before we go to bed at night, because what I love about it is, when we know that we're going to be working hard or being really physical, gosh, you guys, use these products before to help to keep that inflammation smaller than letting it get completely inflamed. If you know of anyone or experience migraine headaches, you'll understand that migraine, once you get one, I used to get them all the time and it was lights out. There was nothing that could have taken that headache away. And now what I know is we can prevent all of those things from happening at the first sign. So you guys, we have so many products that are meant to help to support you in everyday life and everyday situations. And the ones that we've shown you here today is a great place to get started. Now, their number one product from doTERRA is, believe it or not, their Lifelong Vitality. Every single one of us need to look at the root of our foundation. And when we have proper food and nutrition, the rest of our body and the way we show up, the sleep that we're getting, all of those things help us to have a much better life longer. We get to be more active and we get to have better moods. And so if you look at this chart, I absolutely love it because it shows you where we are. So many people are deficient in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, magnesium. You've heard this in all the different chats, right? And so if you were to take what's inside this bottle, it kind of breaks it down on the side. And, to just get enough of the vitamin B12, you would need to eat 75 cups of Swiss chard. And I don't know about you, but I cannot consume all of the food that's necessary to get the proper nutrition these days. The food supply has been completely processed out of nutrition. And so we live in a time when we need to supplement. This is doTERRA's #1 product, and it has a money back guarantee. So if you get this and you try it for 30 days, and at the end of the 30 days, you're going, I didn't notice anything, you can get a hold of doTERRA and they will give you back your money. I don't really know of anybody. Years ago, it used to be like 5 or 6 people the first 6 years or something. And now I really don't know anybody who's returned their supplements. These are some of the things that are in there and some of the really great benefits from taking the Lifelong Vitality. Now, when I work with people and they're dealing with something chronic, or maybe they're not knowing where to start, but they know that they don't feel good and they want to feel better and have all the energy and things, you guys, I ask them to do a 90-day commitment. Because if you're getting into doTERRA, or if you're going to give this a shot and you're only going to try it for a few days or a week and then judge that didn't really happen, well, newsflash, we are in the shape that we're in, and it's taken us a long time to get there. And so it might take a little bit of time and effort and really changing what we're doing to get a different outcome. This is one of my favorite products, and it's a non-negotiable for everybody in my family. If you guys have questions about this, make sure you reach out to the advocate that invited you here tonight so that you can get more information and learn more about this. Okay, so there is a way to purchase. There's the only way that I purchase, and that is using doTERRA's loyalty rewards program. Now, once you have your account, everybody will be purchasing doTERRA at the same price, at 25% off. And then you have 2 options on purchasing. You can go in and do one-time standard order and still receive the discount, or you can go into loyalty rewards. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that when I first got exposed to doTERRA, I was actually on the hunt for a supplement, because I was truly that bucket full of mess, and I had so many things that were going wrong and cried all the time, and I just didn't know what to do and where to turn, because it made such a huge difference for me to get a product that was trusted, that was tested, that people had actually used and got great results. So then the second part of that was, okay, now how do I buy them? And I had been burned by a continuous order or, a monthly order and stuff like that before. And so I was really leery. And all I can tell you guys is I wouldn't buy them any other way. By the 3rd month, I'm going, okay, I'm missing out on hundreds of dollars in free product. And I want the best deal. And so as prices are going up, I guarantee you that as you are really taking a look at the quality and the quantity and the products that are in there, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what you receive. Okay, so this is loyalty rewards. This is the perks of being on the system. One thing I want to remind you guys is you can start and stop this program anytime you want. But if you are loyal and you are on there, doTERRA wants to reward you for that. So the first 3 months, you get 10% back in what they call loyalty points. And then every month it goes up 5% until at 13 months, you're at 30% back. Now you can take those points that you're earning and you can turn them into free product. I love that you can change when it ships, where it ships, how it ships, what ships. You also will get free shipping, which is really important right now, right? Every single time we can save on something, I think it adds so much value. So again, I'm going to say, in our Good Vibes Facebook group, which is where we educate nonstop in there, we have a couple of videos that will walk you through logging into your account, how to actually select your products, how to turn in points to make sure you're getting that. I would also say, make sure that you reach out to the person who invited you if you don't understand this clearly. The last thing we want is for you guys to not get the best benefits for having a wholesale membership with us and getting educated. Okay, you guys, there's also 3 ways to share and earn. And I think everybody these days, if you are unmuted, if you'll go ahead and mute yourself, that would be awesome. We have 3 ways that you can share and earn. We have a referral program. So every single one of you guys, as you log into your doTERRA account, there is a little link with a code, and it's it's something that you can refer. And when you do that, you can get free bonus points where you can turn them into for shipping, you can turn them in for product, you can turn them in for all kinds of free oils and things. So at a minimum, a lot of times people will say, well, I don't want to do this as a business. Well, we're not asking you to do that. We're just saying, if you love something, maybe you love Deep Blue and you're telling all your friends about Deep Blue and your friends are starting to go other places and buy it. Why would they not get it from you? So you have a referral link that you can get a bonus back for sharing. And so again, ask whoever invited you here to make sure that you understand how easy it is to copy and paste your link, and then they go in and they can buy what you refer to them. You can also, by sharing with your friends. So the first time that I was exposed to one of doTERRA's classes, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, my sister needs this. And I've got, my son needs this. My husband needs this. And I instantly had a list of things and ways to use them that people needed to know about. And so I really quickly decided that I was not going to be the Avon lady and just, distribute oils for everybody in my family and all my friends, that they could just simply go in and get their own, and that we would help educate them and help get them to where they needed to be with doTERRA, where they could, get and solve those first reach solution things, and then eventually what happened is I decided that I wanted to really supplement my income and be able to earn at least enough to pay for my stuff. And I hate to pick on today's economy, but wouldn't it be nice if you could share just enough essential oils with your friends and family and coworkers where you could get what you needed for you and your family for free? So I want you to consider that, because we've got something starting next Monday, and every Monday continuing, where you can join us and you can learn how easy it is to share with your friends and family and start to earn. Now, I want to invite you to next week's continuing education class. It will be on daily vitality and nutritional supplements. You guys, this is a great class that you won't want to miss. And so I invite you guys to go ahead and put it in your calendar, go into your phone, go to your calendar, set a reminder. What I did is I went ahead and I just put a reminder with an alarm that's 15 minutes before class starts. And I also put the link for the Zoom in there. So all I had to do is hit it and I was already connected. I've absolutely loved what I've been able to learn by getting into some of these classes and being able to be around essential oils and using them firsthand. I think it does take a commitment, and it takes a little bit of, I want to learn more. And once you start learning, you'll see that so many things are duplicated and it's really easy to do. All right, you guys, I want to invite, if anybody has any questions, or if anybody has a testimonial that they'd like to share, we would open up the time for that now.
I have a testimonial, Haley.
Perfect.
You sparked a memory that I totally forgot about. I was, long story short, I was playing on a volleyball team, and one of my teammates during the break said, I don't think I can continue to play because she said, I'm starting to get a migraine. So I went to my bag where I always carry essential oils and I grabbed Deep Blue and I put it on her temples and the base of her skull and I had her take some deep breaths of it. And she was able to continue playing the game. And she was shocked at how fast it worked.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of people could relate to, headaches and how easy and how simple. I remember that was one of the first things, you guys, that I was like, wait, how could it be that easy? And could it be that effective and that simple? Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to share tonight, a testimonial or ask a question?
I'm going to do one really quick. I just am going to talk about, which was probably my first exposure to these essential oils, but how quick they worked, like Diane's friend. But I have suffered with, or had, past tense, suffered with respiratory issues and carried inhalers and had gotten, eye drops, nose drops, all the stuff for respiratory issues. And when you talk about how effective are they, you got from me carrying inhalers, rescue type inhalers, to breathing 1 to 2 drops of one of the oils in my hands. It gave me the same results with less side effects as my inhaler. I was able to not have the shakes and all the fidgety, things that we experience, those of us that who have had to use breathing assistant inhalers. So they are effective. And because I carried 3, usually all the time, 3 different inhalers, a minimum of 2, but to know that a lot of times they expired before I could get them filled. And, not until the next time when they weren't working, I needed to get a shot. So, cost effective, how effective they are. I'm just totally a believer, because I know that they'll last as long as I've got drops in the bottle.
I think that's also something really important to recognize, is that as long as there's something in the bottle, they don't expire. And I love, little less more often. And as prices of things are going up, you guys, you can make everything from your own, nose spray to, allergy relief, to pain, to digestion, to all the different things. It's so easy to do, and it's safe and affordable. So, some of those questions that come up often, I hope that we were able to give you guys some answers. And lastly, but not least, I want to say thanks for hanging in there and coming back for the 5th take on our class tonight. I don't know. I'll figure it out one of these days, or I won't. And so this is me. This is what you get. And thank you for joining us. And remember that we have table talks on every Wednesday night. It's the same Zoom classroom, same time. And this is an open class discussion where it's not recorded, where you can come and you can get 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or 7-by-7 assistance, right? And learn a little bit deeper into each one of the essential oils. I think it is important. One of the things that I did, and this class is going to change a lot before next week, before the next time we teach it, because my goal is to really bring information and content that is valuable, that you guys want to keep coming back for learning more. Table Talks is really great because you do a deep dive into a couple or a few products, and you really get to know how to use them on a different level. So I'd encourage you guys to put those classes on your books, and we will see you next time. Have a great night, you guys.